This is a nice Topsy and Tim story. I think you know it. Look at the front cover. What do you think the story is about? The name of the story is Topsy and Tim Go on an Aeroplane. So let's listen to the story. Topsy and Tim were off on their summer holidays. They were going in an aeroplane. The airport was very big. Topsy and Tim had a long ride in a bus to reach the terminal building. Then they had a long ride on an escalator to get to the right part of the building. Their luggage went for a long ride too, on a moving platform. Topsy and Tim watched an aeroplane land. It looked much bigger when it was not in the sky. The door was high off the ground. "How will the people get out?" asked Topsy. "Through a special tunnel," said Mummy. "You will see when it's our turn to get on the plane." The loudspeaker voice announced that Topsy and Tim's aeroplane was ready. Soon they were walking along a telescopic tunnel and stepping into the aeroplane. It looked like a very long bus. "Welcome aboard," said the stewardess to Topsy and Tim. The stewardess helped Topsy and Tim fasten their seat belts. She gave them some comics and some sweets. "Suck on a sweet when the aeroplane starts to fly," she said. "It will stop your ears hurting." Tim took 2 sweets. "One for each ear," he said. The stewardess laughed. "They go in your mouth, not in your ears," she said. The big aeroplane flew up into the sky. Topsy and Tim watched the trees and the houses grow as small as toys. "My ears have gone funny," said Topsy. "You didn't suck your sweet, that's why," said Tim. Topsy and Tim were flying above the clouds. "Isn't this exciting?" said Mummy. But the clouds went on for miles and miles. Topsy and Tim started to fidget. Lunch came in interesting plastic trays. Each piece of food had its own shaped space, like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Topsy and Tim tried to swap pieces. The stewardess had to clean up the mess. Then she said, "Topsy and Tim, the pilot would like to talk to you." The stewardess took Topsy and Tim to the pilot's cabin. "Hello, twins," said the pilot. "I've been hearing all about you." He showed Topsy and Tim all the switches and the levers and the dials he used to fly the aeroplane. "Do you think you could fly my aeroplane?" asked the pilot. Topsy and Tim were not sure. They went back to their seats and fastened their seat belts once again. Then they pretended to be pilots. "Will you land our aeroplane now, please, pilots?" said the stewardess. Topsy and Tim could see the flaps moving in the aeroplane's wings to make it fly lower. "I'm doing that when I move this lever," said Tim. But Topsy and Tim both knew that it was the real pilot that was doing that. Topsy and Tim's aeroplane landed with hardly a bump at all. "Goodbye, everybody," said Topsy and Tim. They waved goodbye to the stewardess and to the pilots up in the aeroplane's nose. Then they went to meet their luggage on another moving platform. Soon Topsy and Tim were playing on a sunny holiday beach. A big aeroplane flew across the sky. "That's our plane going home," said Tim. Topsy and Tim waved to their aeroplane, and they thought it waggled its wings back at them. The end.